Hello everybody, welcome to QuickSave, your quick checkpoint throughout the week for all the video game news. My name is Gold, and this week we have some stories. Wasn't expecting. Jeff Kaplan's back from the dead, but most importantly, we have a very special announcement at the end. So just wait till the end, or just skip there. It doesn't really matter. Either or. Story number 1. This comes from Chris Scullion with VGC. Former Overwatch director reveals The Legend of California, an open-world online Wild West FPS. Now, outside of the article, Jeff Kaplan did a massive interview with podcaster Lex Friedman, where he goes into all the ugly details that led to him leaving Blizzard. So if you have 5 hours, yes, 5 hours to spare and want to hear what Blizzard did to make him reach his tipping point, make sure to give it a listen. But, which is what we're going to talk about today, he also talked about his upcoming new game. The debut offering from Kaplan's new studio, Kinsugiyama, The Legend of California is a Wild West-themed first-person shooter set during the Gold Rush, but in a fictional island of California rather than the real-life version, which was not on my bingo card. Explore, gather, craft, build, hunt, and fight your way across a vast, untamed frontier, the game's description on Steam reads. Whether you choose to travel alone or work together with friends, your mission on this mythical island is not just to survive but thrive. Stay strong, stake your claim, and become the true Legend of California. I think they could have chosen a better name, but nevertheless, the game has multiplayer at its core and offers procedurally generated islands which have key landmarks in the same place each time but randomly moves other elements around. We handcrafted the world so the shape of California is always the familiar shape of California, except it's an island. All of those familiar landmarks are there, but then we have dozens of points of interest, and those move around the map depending on the map seed, and the map is also tiered in terms of difficulty. We don't really have levels in this game, we have tiers, and there's only 4 right now, maybe that will change. Kaplan explained that each server will have a different tier system. Mojave might be the easiest newbie area on your server, but on my server, it's an in-game tier 4 area, he explained. The game's description adds, master FPS combat that rewards precision and skill. Whether you're hunting wildlife to stay alive, taking down hostile encampments for some quick coin, or defending your territory against enemy players in optional PvP. Leverage robust gathering and crafting systems to transform the Californian wilderness into everything you need to survive, from weapons for protection and tools for expansion to delicious meals to stay fed and ready. Establish and expand your own ranch, build a mine, add stables, and unlock powerful new crafting stations to further customize your slice of the wild. Play online on persistent multiplayer servers where you can forge your legacy solo or form a company with up to 3 other players, sharing resources, buildings, progress, and more. The Legend of California is available to wishlist now on Steam, where players can also request access to upcoming play tests. It looks not what I would have expected Jeff to make as his next game. Going from Overwatch to this, I really wasn't expecting this. It doesn't look bad. It looks more of like a random thing that would pop up on Steam and suddenly everyone's playing it. And you're like, oh wow, like a Lethal Company, like a RV There Yet. Just a little more polished, but still sort of underpolished. But I'm excited to try it, and hopefully you are too. Story number 2, this comes from Ollie Reynolds with Nintendo Life. Peggy targets loot boxes with its new overhauled rating system. The Pan-European Game Information, or PEGI for short, rating system is officially getting a massive overhaul in an effort to target microtransactions, loot boxes, and mechanics that reward logging in for daily quests. It'll no doubt prove a huge blow to the likes of EA, which puts a lot of emphasis on its Ultimate Team mode for EA Sports FC 26. The series, which utilizes extensive in-app purchases for the blind bad card picks, has been rated PEGI 3 for as long as we can remember. Now, under the new rules, it's likely that future EA Sports FC titles will be rated at least PEGI 16. Meanwhile, games that utilize NFTs will automatically be PEGI 18, as will games that include completely unrestricted communication features. Titles that offer play-by-appointment mechanics, that is, features that reward daily logins, will be PEGI 7 unless they actually punish the player for not logging in which case they will be PEGI 12. Here's a look at how PEGI describes its new rules. Purchase of in-game content. Purchases of in-game content. Games with time-limited or quantity-limited offers will be classified with a PEGI 12. Games with NFTs or blockchain-related mechanisms will be PEGI 18. Paid random items. The default rating will be PEGI 16 if the game contains paid random items, and in some cases they can be a PEGI 18. Paid by appointment. Mechanisms that reward returning to the game, like daily quests, will get a PEGI 7. If these mechanisms punish players for not returning, like losing content or reducing progress, they will become PEGI 12. Safe online gameplay. If games contain entirely unrestricted communication features, like no blocking or reporting, they will be PEGI 18. I'm curious to see where all of this will lead to. Is FIFA going to be the main hit game, or will other things like NBA 2K be hit? Who knows? Thankfully, I don't care about sports games, and it seems like that's going to be the biggest one that's hit, so hey. Our last story comes from Andy Robinson with VGC. Pokopia is already one of the best-selling Pokemon spin-offs just after 4 days. Game Freak and Koei Tecmo's Pokemon Pokopia is already, I always want to call it Poketopia. I don't know why, I just can't get that out of my head. Is already one of the best-selling Pokemon spin-off games ever, just after 4 days of sales. On Thursday, Nintendo and the Pokemon Company confirmed suspicions that the Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive was off to a very strong start, confirming that sales have surpassed 2.2 million as of last weekend. That figure includes more than 1 million units in the Pokemon Company and Nintendo's home market of Japan, the pair said in an announcement. As summarized by Cerebi editor Joe Merrick, this means Pokopia is already in the top 12 selling Pokemon spin-offs ever, based on known digital and physical sales data. Pokopia was released last week, and it soon emerged that dozens of retailers worldwide sold out of the physical version, which is a game keycard. According to the game business editor Christopher Dring, which might I add, if you haven't listened to his podcast, you gotta listen to it. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, back to the article. UK sales data suggests that physical supply of Pokopia was, quote, seriously undersupplied at retailers. It's likely a similar situation worldwide, he said. You know, I really didn't doubt too much that the game would do well. Pokemon is the number one IP in the world. Didn't expect it to do this well that fast. The fact that it's just running out. They're running out of the copies. I wouldn't be surprised, genuinely, if this becomes the number one Pokemon spinoff. People are hungry for Animal Crossing, and this has a little bit of that taste. I've only played a little bit of it myself. What I'm curious about, though, is a sequel. Will they make a sequel? Will they do some DLC, saying, oh, this is really big, we can start making DLC for this now? I doubt they were. Did they expect it? I don't know if they expected it. But I'm curious, what would they do for a sequel? Because you'd have to be a Ditto still. But there's a lot of Pokemon, so they could do it. And most importantly, there's a lot of money to be made. So you know what? They will do it. In other news, Fortnite Save the World is going free to play April 16th. I didn't know it wasn't. Jack Coleman from The Gamer reports that video game website Video Gamer, which was founded in 2004 and recently bought out by Clickout Media, a Maltese company with ties to gambling and cryptocurrency, that sounds great, has sort of just sunk the website. Now all the staff has been kicked out from the site, and it's just AI-generated articles and fake editors. I can take with pretending to have actual articles, but faking editors, it's basically the same thing It just sounds worse to me. Nevertheless, they have now been de-indexed by Google, which makes them not in the search engine when searched for. So everyone give a salute to the video gamer that once was, but is very much no longer. I don't know if I ever read anything from them, but rest in peace. For this week's game highlight, apparently it's one I already had on my Steam wishlist, but like most things, I go, ooh, this looks cool, click add, never really watch the trailer, never read about it, and forget about it. So once I actually did read about it, that's what I'm going to do when I'm done editing this tonight. Bakudo. It's a sci-fi boss rush action game fusing high-octane ball sport mechanics with exhilarating combat. The Steam description reads that Bakudo is a sci-fi boss rush action game fusing high-octane ball sport mechanics with exhilarating combat. Enroll at an elite Bakudo academy and clash with formidable opponents as you uncover a major conspiracy. When determination is put to the ultimate test, you must tip the scales of destiny. Very anime-like, but it's cool. You'll step into the shoes of Yuria as she enrolls at the academy in search of her missing father and forge deep bonds with a colorful cast of characters along the journey. However, the academy holds more secrets than it appears, and what awaits our hero is far from simple. Engage in real-time battles against formidable bosses with a unique, fast-paced combat system around dynamic ball-throwing techniques. Observe your opponents, learn their movements, and exploit their weaknesses to seize victory. Face off against the Academy's reigning elites, known as the 8 Stars. Each boast a unique and formidable combat style. Only by reading their movesets and countering at just the right moment can you hope to defeat them. It looks so sick. Genuinely, I'm excited to try this. I don't know when it comes out. I didn't read that. It's not in my notes. But you can play the demo now. They did say it's an early release demo, so it might be a little janky. They do highly recommend a controller. It just looks so cool. It just genuinely, I'm excited to try this. And now, to the most important news of the week. High Guard is no longer. The game that I didn't like at the beginning, and then I tried again, and I liked more. And then, like I said last week, I was trying to get the achievement before it closed, and then they surprised me with, oh, it's closing really soon. It's gone now. And I really liked it a lot by the end of it, but it's gone. Pay respects at the tombstone. It lived a very short life. I really can't say much more about it. There's not much else to say. But, most importantly, boys, I did it. I did it. I got all the achievements. Look at that right there. I'm so pumped. That is all the news for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.